Welcome guys to this episode 9 of PUBG MYTH BUSTERS. In this episode we will test the following myths. If a vehicle is flipped onto its side, you can get it back on its wheels by popping a tire. It is much safer to stay on the edge of the red zone compared to being in the center. And you can prevent a teammate from taking falling damage by standing below them as they land. First, I'll test if it's possible to get a side-flipped vehicle back onto its wheels by popping a tire. In order to test this, we will need some of my expert driving skills, or just me driving like I usually do. When I pop the tires on the van, it does move a bit, but nowhere near enough to get it back on its wheels. But then I thought it might be because the vehicle was leaning downhill, so I wanted to try it on a flat surface. Popping the two lowest tires didn't do anything, but popping the top tire miraculously flipped the vehicle back up. This is PUBG physics at its finest, and I honestly have no idea why this is working. But does it only work with the van, or can you apply this trick to other vehicles? Let's go to a wrangle and try the USZ. Now I'm only going to pop the front upper tire. And yes, again the same magical thing happens. The suspension of the UAZ does this weird twitch as a reaction to the popped tire, which somehow causes the vehicle to get back on its wheels. So yes, the myth that you can flip a vehicle back onto its wheels by popping a tire is confirmed. Just remember that it has to be the upper tire and not the lower one. Next, it's finally time to test the myth that the edge of the red zone is much safer than the center of the circle. This is a myth that has existed for as long as the game has been around, and to test it, we will be looking at the impacts from above, and I will be marking each impact as it occurs. Instead of applying math and formulas, we will test things in the actual game. This way we can see with our own eyes exactly what is happening. It doesn't really seem like we have any impacts close to the edge of the circle, but let's test a different circle and see what happens here. In this circle we have a river passing through the middle. Bombs cannot explode in the water, as you will be able to see in this example. This means that you will always be safe from a red zone explosion while in a boat or swimming. If a bomb is set to explode in the water, it will simply be cancelled out and the impact won't occur at all. Because of how this works, you won't actually have more bombs landing on the land area, but simply overall fewer explosions in the same circle. And also in this circle, the bombs was centered and not on the edge of the circle. Let's see one more circle and mark the impacts. We also have some water in this circle, and like I said, the water won't be affected by these explosions. As the bombs continue to drop, we simply don't get explosions near the edge of the circle, and the closer to the center you get, the more explosions you have. And now let's place all 400 explosions in the same circle. This makes it even more obvious. We have a lot of impacts around the center, but the edge of the circle is completely safe. Now I won't guarantee that no bomb will ever go off on the edge of the circle, but I think it's safe to conclude that the myth that it is much safer on the edge of the circle rather than in the center is confirmed. The final myth is that you can prevent a teammate from taking damage by standing below him as he falls. This should prevent him from taking damage completely due to the player gliding off the character model of the savior. And guys, do not try this at home. As the player falls and lands on the teammate, the player is taking damage, even though the player casually glides off the teammate. Now sure, if the teammate wasn't here, the player would have died, but the total damage prevention did not occur. This was tested several times while the teammate was standing, crouching, and even proning. In all tests, the player did take damage, and therefore the myth that you can completely prevent the teammate from damage by standing below them is busted. Standing below them will make them take less damage though, something that might be handy sometime. Now that's all I had for you guys in this video. I hope you liked it, and if you did, subscribe to the channel to stay updated on future content. Don't forget to catch me live streaming on Twitch TV/WackyJacky101, and I'll see you guys next time.